was a little creature that came up there. Yeah, muskrat. Not sure. But there is definitely, it's hard to see in the picture. You can kind of see it. See, that water over there is actually open, whereas all the rest of this, see, very thin layer of slush, kind of ice on it. Getting colder. And the trees, well, I don't think well, there's a handful of leaves. Not many though. It has snowed once. I think it lasted all of about 5 minutes before it completely melted off, but it did technically, we woke up to snow. And one is having her morning nap on the walk. And doing a lot of paperwork stuff and deliveries and different things that aren't really filmable, kind of ish. Anyways, got a little bit more paperwork to do today. Well, I got more paperwork to do most of the week, but I've got probably a little bit more to do today. And then when Dan wakes up, the two of them are gonna have an afternoon together while I go to the workshop and make noise. So I've got 2 reasonable size orders, pretty big size orders, that need a lot of sanding. But once I get that done today, there's just a lot of painting and staining and clear coating, kind of quiet stuff. So that'll be the rest of the week. Well, sanding will be today, but the rest of that stuff will be the rest of the week. Anyways, see you in a bit. Time for home, lunch, at least 1 hot chocolate because it's really cold out here. My ears are starting to freeze. Probably should put my head down. I get a couple hours more paperwork done before it's time to go to the workshop. Trying to reconfigure the marketing of the business. For translation, actually, you know, do the marketing for the business, because I kind of slacked off the last couple months. I wonder why. Where'd he go? There he is. Hey, little buddy. I don't know what it is. I don't think it's a beaver. It's really small if it's a beaver. But it's cute. Oh, hi. Don't worry, you're cute too. Alright, let's go home. I think we're gonna try and do some stuff in the kitchen. Running on a lack of sleep makes it hard to concentrate on like word type computer stuff, and then having someone who all she wants to do is get her wiggle on
course, now she sits still. Makes it a lot more difficult. So, concentrating on that, not gonna happen. Time to go find something else to do. Yes, you. Well, look at you sitting in there so nice. Let's find something fun for you to do, and then I can get some stuff done in the kitchen. Hmm? Alright, first up, these have been drying. So these were the last of the beans that were pulled from the vines. Some of these, like these little brown ones, you can kind of see it's a little bit shriveled up. Those ones were super green when I put them in here. But this is how I dried them. Pretty much all of them weren't dry. Even the ones that were relatively dry, they'd been rained on. Does that thing make noise? Anyways, I sort out the ones that aren't quite dry yet. So yeah, just kind of putting these in here and spinning them, sloshing them around for, I think they've been in here for about 2 weeks. And then they go in a jar and we're good to go. That's gonna get annoying really quickly. Well, at least she's having fun. Fill up my jars now. Hello. Well, it's a bit later. Got some stuff done in the house. But today kind of turned into a day Mommy needed a nap. So, she and I took a nap. Now she's up with Dan in his office, and I'm out here. Got a whole bunch of sanding to do. I was gonna say sanding and other things, but I basically do have a whole bunch of sanding to do. So, all the little planters that are sitting in the router table, they all need to be sanded. So they're prepped for painting tomorrow. And these are all the trivets that I need to send out by the end of the week. That'll be fine. I tried something a little bit different this time. Normally we cut out the tops and we have a block of MDF that is bigger than the top. We paint it, glue the top to the MDF, and then trim it on the bandsaw over there, and then sand the edges tight to the top using the little sander over there, disc sander. But I put them through the router table this time with a trimming bit to get a nice clean edge. So I'm gonna give that a try. I don't know, it's kind of hard to see. It's got, I don't know if it's been picked up by that. It's got lines in it, which I guess is just from the router bit. Maybe there's some nicks in the blade or something. So I'm gonna take a look. I might be able to buff the edges of both top and bottom of this and start staining them. All the backs need to be sanded though. Or I might need to put them through the disc sander anyway, so we will find out. I'm hoping I can just put them through the router table because it was a whole lot faster to go through the router table and a lot easier on the machine because I try to get as close as I can. I'm gonna flip this around. Okay, it's a little bit easier if I'm not holding it. So this is a laser piece, this is the MDF. You can see there's 2 layers there. You can kind of see the lines from the router table as well. Anyways, the router was definitely a lot faster and a lot easier than the disc sander because I try to get as close as I possibly can, but you still end up with about 1/8 almost of material that has to be sanded off on all 6 sides. That's a lot when you're doing more than a few of them. So the time savings when I'm doing a batch this big using the router table is extremely noticeable, but it's also, it would be just over the course of the year, of all the ones that I make, it'd be a time saver as well. So hopefully this works and I don't have to put them through the router table and the sander. I didn't want to add a tool, I was hoping to swap a tool. But yeah, anyways, I'm gonna stand up, put my headphones on, listen to some podcasts, and just go to town. It's a little bit dusty in here. But those are done. They're all sanded, ready for paint. There's two that need a little bit of glue, but that'll dry overnight and then I can sand them. So now it's moving on to all of these. So basically, I'm gonna sand the backs of all these, partly because they get little, you can't see it, it's hard to see, but they get little scuffs in them with the sheet moving around. So I'd like to give it just one more sand just before I stain it, so that it takes the stain evenly, it doesn't show all those scuff marks. And also, it doesn't matter too much with the black stain, which goes in the back of all these, but you can kind of see the extra burning, I don't know, I can't think of what that's called, around where the brand is, that extra little haze. Anyways, with that, and then we're gonna see if this theory has worked or if I have to go spend some time with the disc sander. Even dustier. But they're all sanded, so all the backs are sanded. I think I'm going to buff one of them, back, front and back, test out the staining, because if I have to go through and disc sand all of these, it'll be better to disc sand them before I do all the edge sanding, because otherwise I'll just sand on my little rounded corners off. Goodness gracious, it's dusty in here. Okay, so that should speed up that process of putting everything through the router, instead of having to go and sand this down and make sure that you don't sand into the actual laser piece. And also I won't have to get the bandsaw quite as tight, because right now I've been trying to get as much off with the bandsaw as I possibly can in order to cut down on the sanding. But with a trimming bit on the router, I don't have to worry about that anymore. Awesome. Whew. They're all sanded. Those two little ones are glued up, but all of the trivets are sanded. Ready for tomorrow, so that's nice quiet stuff. I think I might dust a few things off. It's getting really bad in here. Really bad. I think this weekend I'm gonna have to get out here and just spend a couple hours vacuuming. I should have the last two big orders that have been in here for a while out the door. And then, yeah, this is getting to be absurd. But stuff's getting done, so. She and I are gonna come out here tomorrow. I'll start staining these, painting the blocks, clear coating, things like that. It's all water-based stuff. And when I clear coat, I bring her inside, come back out, do the clear coat, and go back in with her. So, we're doing good. See you later.